Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, the CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. I've assisted companies in manufacturing quality and also special processes and also ISO certification, all derivatives. My background is aerospace, medical implants, medical materials printing, and plastic distribution, where we dealt with every industry under the sun, as I've said in the past. This video today is brought to the forefront because of what we have done and exposure of Miss Rosa DeLauro, also Mr. Jim Himes, Christopher Murphy, and also Richard Blumenthal, about them loving China, about them being an international regulator when Lockheed Martin was purchasing Sikorsky Aircraft in 2015. This video today is about with China's okay. DeLauro, Blumenthal, Himes, and Murphy keep communism strong in the state of Connecticut. And yes, some of you are saying, what are you talking about? Well, let me just say this. I've said it in other videos. Rosa DeLauro was friends with my mom. My mom was Blumenthal, etc. Himes and Murphy were kind of the new guys on the block, but my mom knew them for many years. In fact, Rosa sent us a fruit basket to the family after my mom passed away in 2010. My mom always said she had 50 plus years, and you would have these guys and gals call my mom up during election time because they knew that Sylvia would do good things for them. In fact, my mom said many occasions, she said, you know, Daryl, you can control the absentee ballots, you control the election. And she wasn't too far from the truth if you look at the whole Biden-Trump deal. And I don't care about that mess, but that was a mess, a fiasco. Almost like Al Gore and George Bush, that was another fiasco. But again, this video is with China's okay. DeLauro, Blumenthal, Himes, and Murphy keep communism strong in the state of Connecticut. And for those people who try to lambaste me and say, what are you doing about Himes? What do you do with DeLauro? I will say this, and this is a poem from Rudyard Kipling. I say this to those of you who keep on trying to bash me, keep on trying to call me different names and trying to... For many years, I was called all kinds of names within the quality community because you know what? I tell the truth, okay? You look behind me and says, see ANSI? It says half a nut, fuck you. I was called on the telephone by Russ Cheney, who I didn't even know. And that guy left me a message, and he has, you'll hear it in the videos that are going to be attached to this video. He said, half a nut, fuck you, because I exposed the fact about A2LA being on ANSI's board right over by the forensic labs that they certify. Isn't that a tender moment? But Rudyard Kipling, and this is for New Year's, if you can keep your head about you and all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you and make allowances for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about. Don't deal in lies or being hated. Don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you dream, do not make dreams your master. If you think, do not make thoughts your aim. If you meet with triumph and disaster, treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make traps for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stooped and built them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start at your beginnings and never, ever speak about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve their turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and not lose your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose a common touch, if foes and loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, then the earth is everything that's in it. Which more? You'll be a man, my son. Rudyard Kipling's If. And that is so true. Don't listen to these liars and cheats while they're losing their minds because I'm exposing them. In the context of this video are going to be the videos that are in the description. that emulate who the people I'm going to bring out. I'm bringing out Christopher Wray, special guest. He said some things about China. He's always adamantly talking about how bad China is for us. In fact, November 15th of this year, 2022, I know I made a mistake in another video, said it was 2020, but no, in 2022, under a Senate or Congressional subcommittee hearing, he was asked about TikTok, and TikTok is a detriment because it's from China, and China is a detriment to the way of life in America. Yet, nobody listens to him, especially Rosa DeLauro, Chris Murphy, Richard Blumenthal, and Jim Himes. We've exposed that factor. In the context of this video will be several videos that illuminate you, the business owner, you, the person on the street, to this mess. Federal agencies sitting on nonprofit boards like ANSI, members roster, are a national disgrace. Pentagon pauses F-35 deliveries. QA expert Daryl Guberman explains why. China oversight since 2015. QA expert exposes the blight of our federal government, especially the DoD. How China uses ANSI, ANAB, IF 2015 to 21 to control the FBI, DOJ, DoD, and DHS. Daryl Guberman. QA expert Daryl Guberman, American National Standards Institute 2022 nominee, exposes ANSI. ANSI mission statement, half a nut fuck you by Russ Cheney, chairman, silenced by government member DHS Alejandro Mayorkas, secretary. Government bid illustrating U.S. underwriters of Wuhan lab are legally bound by probable COVID escape. Jim Himes, Connecticut, Lockheed hush money. Disbursements while China approves Sikorsky purchase. Also Rosa DeLauro. Also Chris Murphy. Also Richard Blumenthal. Coronavirus, probable lab failure, Wuhan, China, exposes underwriter, ANSI, ANAB, liability. Who's most likely liable for COVID-19 release from Wuhan lab, China? QA expert Daryl Guberman explains. Daryl Guberman's CEO explains with China's okay, Lockheed Martin to close on Sikorsky purchase. Now we're going to bring out the director of the FBI. As I said, he was inquisitioned on November 15th, and he said TikTok is no good. In fact, I think it's been taken off many of our armed services telephones as a detriment, as a way for China to get our technology. So this is basically what Christopher Wray said about China, and also what China thinks about Christopher Wray. And here's Christopher Wray right now, yes, as a clown. Very much so, because his organization has been hacked 7 times to Sunday. And he said this. He said, the whole of the Chinese society is a threat to the U.S. and that Americans must step up to defend themselves. FBI Christopher Wray says Chinese espionage poses most severe threat to American security. FBI Director Christopher Wray making the mark as a loud and insistent China critic. China determined to steal up economic ladder at U.S. expense, FBI Chief Christopher Wray says. Head of America's principal federal law enforcement agency calls intelligent threat posed by China broader and more severe than that of any other country. And now this is what China thinks about Christopher Wray. Vulgar, arrogant, mentally challenged, a lowlife, asked Chinese state media for an assessment of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation's Director Christopher Wray, and the response will be less than flattering. People like Wray emanate the kind of vulgarity shown by history's career lowlifes. The vulgarity floods the U.S. administration today. Yes, and Christopher Wray can't stand up. I apologize, but here he is. We're going to introduce to you, also, you have Jim Himes. You'll find his video down exclusively. As you can see, he's holding up the factor of Sikorsky, Lockheed, or Lockheed Sikorsky, the China country over here. You also have the commonalities here. You have on this side, you have the F-35 and you have the Black Hawk. On this side, you have the China version, J-31, and also the Z-20. They look the same. As I've said in other videos, maybe underneath their engine cowlings, you have made in USA. You also have the factor of Richard Blumenthal, another one who clapped like a seal, just like that, when it came to Lockheed Martin buying, Sikorsky Aircraft and getting Chinese approval. I.e., that's why he says, "I love communism." The next one here today is Chris Murphy. Chris Murphy, unbelievable guy. He's also holding that placard. It's just unbelievable what these guys and gals are doing. They are promoting and professing of communism. When you have them, and we have the actual document here that we're going to show you. It is absolutely, with China's okay, Lockheed Martin closes in on the purchase of Sikorsky Aircraft. And it states in the Connecticut Mirror, Connecticut lawmakers praise Lockheed Martin for working with an international regulator. China, they praised him. I wonder if the little lapel pin that they wear, the flag pin, is not made in China. We ought to ask them that question. Well, I'm asking you. Let me see one of those flag pins. Send one to me. We're paying for it. Send me a flag pin. The official flag pin that you're wearing. But anyway, we have the woman of the hour. Here she is, Rosa DeLauro. And she's been in office very, very long. Rosa. She's been in there so long, she collects a lot of dust. Doesn't do anything, collects a lot of dust. I'm going to leave it here, business owners, because the rest of the data is down below this video. I'm going to keep it short, keep it sweet. I know I've been asked, do a video on all four of them. Well, I'm doing it. The rest of the data, each individual person, Rosa DeLauro, Jim Himes, Christopher Murphy, and also Richard Blumenthal, all have separate videos in the description below this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please write me or call 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS, @yahoo.com. And we do this because, as Thomas Paine would say when speaking the truth, it is many times like administering medication to the dead. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're not dead, because it appears sometimes you are. And that's wrong. We must stand up, or you end up with representatives that love communist China. Unbelievable. And they can't deny it. It says it in the article in the Connecticut Mirror. And I know it's 2015 for some of you people out there who are saying, Daryl, it's 2015. Well, you didn't know about it then. Now you know about it now, and that's why you're irritated. Too bad. I thank you.